All right. What's up, guys? How's everyone doing today? Crap. I always forget to put the music on when I'm transitioning. So just give me a moment here. No. Roll, pick. All right, let's switch over. Hello. All right. So how's everyone doing? Sorry about that. I had to uh do something very last minute. Of course, as everything's happening, I was like, oh crap, I forgot to turn on the dryer machine. So I'm running downstairs, came back up just in time for the song to end. So you guys can't hear the music, can you? What the heck happened to it? Oh, I know what I did. Shoot. I am not a clever man sometimes. So how's everyone doing? Price has been interesting over the last couple days slash I guess almost week since I hopped on here. I did want to hop on here yesterday, but something came up, and let me know if you guys can hear that. Volume should be good. But I had a buddy of mine had some computer problems, and I'm somewhat tech slash IT savvy. I'm not a clever man when it comes to like intricate stuff, but I can build a computer. Um, I've troubleshooted a couple computers of my own, and I've never seen what happened to him and his setup. I've never seen happen before. I don't know. I tried everything, almost just about everything. We swapped out every single part that we could have possibly thought of, and I'm stuck. So I was at his house for like 5-6 hours last night, taking this thing apart, trying to figure it out, and I still couldn't come up with a solution. So I gotta wait a couple days for his more stuff to come in. We're gonna try a couple more things and then hopefully go from there. But yeah, so let's talk price action. So there's a couple things that I want to talk about. Mainly the most important thing, which I think is the most important thing of them all, is overall setting market sentiment slash like, basically a bias towards what I may personally feel like is going to happen. And let's talk about the different options and the different variables of what could happen or what could arise. So the main thing, as I pointed out in many other live streams before this, and something that I'm gonna keep talking about till something changes, is that there's mainly two setups that I'm looking for. If these two setups are become invalidated, I don't know where else to go from there. I kind of have to step back and revisit the drawing board and see what Price wants to do. But the main 2 points that I want to see, or the main two setups I want to see, are the following. One is if you look at price action from a larger time frame, you do have a larger A to a B to a C. All right. Now, this is the C the bottom. Until we get that lower low past that 17,675 region, I have to say that this is the bottom, or at least a more longer term bottom. I can't say this is going to be the bottom, but that's one of the options on the table. And from there, we're kind of working on a bigger A to a B, and then we're going to either continue to slowly go up or form like some sideways price action. I don't know how this is going to play out exactly, but ideally I'm going to be looking for a bigger push to the upside if this is the option on the table. If that isn't the case, the other alternative, and primarily this is something that I still think is probable. As of right now, we kind of have a different setup here and I'm going off of, but for me, one of the things I'm kind of thinking that is going to happen is this is possibly a much larger ABC to complete a large C wave. Now, what I always talk about when looking at these ABCs is that pretty much most ABCs you're going to see out there are going to have some sort of its own ABC. And to me, if we do get that lower low past, 17,550 around there, I'm going to be ultimately bullish if we can get back above and hold. To me, that shows a much larger bottom. Even if it gets to, like, let's say this is just a segment of it, even if it can get up to half that 50% area, we're going to look for a retest of like a 35, 36K region. So for me, that is the ultimate, I guess, short-term bear, longer-term bullish option. Now, what's going on here is basically what's going to determine which idea is going to actually come to play. And let's talk about that here. I need to go to like an hour. So, based off of what we see here, I might actually have to go to a 2 hour. Based off what we see here, I'm primarily looking at this as an ABC. If that's the case, I do need to see a lower low past that 17,597. I'll go ahead and mark that out for you guys. Now, the closer we inch towards this low, the more probable this is going to be. But there's basically one other structure I want to point out that kind of goes with the idea that this might be a bottom. It's this ABC here. Now, when we're kind of forming up in this region here, I did say one of the options on the table is that this is just a retest and we're going to come back down and form some sort of lower low. I was kind of hoping to see it go past that 17,582, but doesn't necessarily always have to happen. So until we get that lower low, I have to play it off of this setup here. Go to 30 minutes. An hour might be more appropriate. All right, so basically this ABC here, I'm going to mark it out with a price label here. And that 18,450, I'm currently long off of this. It did happen in the middle of the night, but luckily I did have my alerts set. So when certain things did happen, I kind of was like half awake, like zombie mode, just making sure I got my entries and I passed right back out. So luckily I didn't get stopped out because I was kind of anticipating an alarm. You kind of get like this little anxious feeling when you're trying to fall back asleep, like you're just waiting, like, watch, I'm gonna get comfortable, I'm gonna get stopped out, I gotta wake back up and do this all over again. And eventually, I kind of trained myself to kind of just get rid of that thought, and within a couple minutes, and I'm immediately right back to sleep. So we're still in this long, we're still holding. This structure is very valid until, like I said, that lower low gets put in, and then we have to look at a more bigger setup. And that's pretty much it. There's no serious other alternatives on the table, and I kind of have to just see what price does. Me personally, if you want to ask my personal bias on this, if I can see that lower low and it come right back up and hold, oh, that's going to be an ultimate bullish sign, in my opinion. The structure looks perfect. It's almost a textbook ABC, in my opinion, and I really would like to see that. Obviously, the other part of me, from a like traditional pattern standpoint, sees this as an Adam and Eve. I've talked about this a couple times while this range has been forming, and so this could be the bottom of the Adam and Eve, and we can kind of slowly uptrend from here, and we kind of have some sort of breakout above that. That's not guaranteed, but for me, that's the bullish side of me as of right now, from a traditional pattern aspect, not really looking at ABCs. I'm not banking on it, but if I do see it, I kind of have to lean more bullish, even if we don't get that lower low from the ABC side of things. Vlad, let's go Wizard. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm no wizard. It's just time and practice. That's all it is. And not being too zoomed in on the lower time frames. So that's pretty much it for BTC. ETH, ETH has been playing out. You know, I'm kicking myself in the butt for this. It's not the end of the world, but I was short off of this setup here because I kind of was anticipating lower. And we did not, I mean, we did put in that lower low, but we were sitting in this kind of area right here. And I wanted to take partial profit just because we were getting close. And I was like, okay, I'll take like 25% off the table. If for some reason I was at work when it was happening and I hit the 25% take profit, and all of a sudden my position didn't update, and I had stuff going on around me, so I just did it like 3 times. I'm like, what the crap? And I go refresh the page, like I pull the tab down on my phone, and all of a sudden pretty much majority of my position's gone. So I said, screw it. I just took the whole thing. So I'm only meant to take like 25% off the table. Ended up taking the whole thing off the table. So it was still like around a 10 R&R, which is, you know, something I do look. That's pretty much a good R&R to look for when you use my type of stop loss, like the 1%. R&Rs and win percentages kind of, you know, it varies depending on your actual trading setup. But to me, it was about a 10. Yeah, it was like a 10 and a half, 11. So I thought that was a good setup. I'm okay. I'm happy with it. It saved me a little bit on the way back down. But ultimately for ETH, now that we got this lower low, this is a beautiful ABC here. And it looks like it wants to, I can't really make that conclusion yet, because to me, this is all one continuous trend. You know, this low here could be a possible low, a bottom. Change that. But primarily, I'm looking for this setup here. Oh, no, I want the break rate. I'm just a newbie sometimes. Please forgive me. You really should have like hotkeys set up for this. Pretty sure isn't like Alt V, Alt J. Okay, that's what it was. I remember that for next time. Yeah, it's a lot better. All right, so pretty much there is a lower, there's a smaller ABC within this. So I'm looking at this as a possible bottom. What I would do in this case, it's something that I do like to use every once in a while, especially if we get smaller setups within a C wave. I like to kind of divvy up my entries, which is something I've been kind of experimenting with, and I do kind of like doing this. And it allows me to not take full entries on the most confident positions, but it allows you to get a little bit of a sprinkle and a little bit of a head start. So pretty much what I would do is I'm ultimately looking for higher. I'm going to be looking for at least a test of this high before I can even consider taking profit. So I would take like a 25% size position here off of that 1278, and then I'll sprinkle the other 75 back when we get above that 1423. So it's gonna bring my entry down not that much, probably like to around that like 1389, but it gives you a little bit of wiggle room, and I don't have to worry about using too much risk. I don't have to worry about trying to, you know, catch the bottom. I'm prioritizing the bigger structure, but I'm also allowing me to get a little bit of skin in the game, trying to play into the bigger setup. So that's ultimately what I'm gonna do. If you guys aren't gonna do that, I recommend, you know, if you guys are experienced with this, go ahead and mess around and try to figure out what works best for you. I know a good amount of people who use or have been watching and listening to me recently are relatively new to the strategy. I personally would say just be careful, tread lightly with this. I do not recommend it. I would say stick to the 1423 entry. What is that? 1421, and stick to that bigger setup, because that's going to be a more solid, more valid place to enter, and definitely a place of confidence to be long off of. So that's just me. That's pretty much it for ETH. I want to talk about one other thing, something that I noticed earlier. because somebody in David's channel actually took a ABC off of this setup, I believe. I think his name was Jay. So Jay, if you're watching this, kudos to you. Or maybe it was this one here. I don't remember. It could have been this one. Regardless, that was a massive trade. I told him basically, hey man, like you have this giant ABC here. I would ride it to at least the test of that 41 cent region. And then, you know, take a good chunk off the table, let it ride. He was kind of structuring it with multiple TPs. I'm not the biggest fan of that personally, but if it helps you, I guess it how do I say this? If you're gonna do that, I feel you should aim for higher targets, because what's gonna happen is averaging out of your position is gonna skew your R&R results, and from there you're gonna have to figure out your profitability based off R&R and win percentage, and it's kind of hard to do that when you're taking profit 4 different times. And if you're not exact on it, it's kind of hard to get a baseline of what makes sense. That's why I like sticking to solid TPs. Every once in a while, I will take a little bit off the table, but like I said, I will only take a little bit off the table if the position is massively in profit. And if I don't do that, it's a very small amount, like 5 to 10%. And maybe that's enough to cover stops. I don't know if this is the ideal setup or way to go about it. It's just something I'm personally experimenting with. So until I can get a more solid answer, or at least get a better idea what the results are going to be longer term, I can go, and then I'll go about and say with a little bit more confidence that, hey, you guys should do this. But as of right now, I don't really have a set system of how I take profit. When it comes to, you know, what I mean by that is I have a method to take profit, but I don't mess around with partials or multiple take profit levels. That's just me personally. Josh V, how you doing, buddy? I saw you in Kite Stream earlier. Hype, bear market hype. Yep. Yeah, I think we're getting close. I don't think we're gonna go down to, like, everyone keeps talking about like 6K. I might have to go to index chart. Why is my guys? Is my like screen slow, or am I just being picky? Everyone keeps talking about, like, see, I even marked this out here. Everyone keeps talking about like this region. Let's do background. Let's do like a other now. A pink. Let's do pink. Everyone keeps talking about this area being support. I just don't see it. If anything, I see like that 12 to 15K. And I've had some people I've like watched, I'm not going to call out anyone specifically, basically saying like, oh, this top here is not solid support. Well, yeah, obviously not as a exact point, but a good region. Like as a region of support, yeah, I would say this is solid, because, you know, obviously conditions have changed. But before this, Bitcoin has never ever significantly gone below the previous high. You know, obviously this is a false break, but I'm talking about like a full pump and then a complete retest / dump back down to that high. It's never happened before. So obviously this is a perfect example of not the markets never repeat itself. So it could be something different. I personally don't think, I think there's so much support here that I don't think that we're going to come down to this like 6K region. I think that's a little bit pushing it. And there's times and a place to be bearish, but you should have been bearish up here, not down here. Ultimately bearish. And it gets to the point sometimes where it goes both ways. I'm not trying to call anyone out specifically, but like, you can't be too bullish. You can't be too bearish. You got to kind of swing, aim for the middle somewhere. All right, screen good. Thanks, Josh. ED retracement will be a solid support. Macroeconomic climate is terrible right now. BTC has never been through a recession. No, Josh, absolutely. You're absolutely right. That's why I'm not writing it off completely. I don't know. I don't. You might have a better idea than me, Josh. Me personally, I just don't see it happening. And this is definitely we're definitely in a recession. How long this is going to last and how severe it's going to get, that's definitely, you know, nothing's off limits. But I personally don't like to be too extreme on one end. And for me personally, I think 6K is way too extreme. I would meet you halfway and say like that 11 to 15K region is a great area of support. With the data on the chart right now, I am bearish. It could change tomorrow. Absolutely. Could be a wick double bottom here. Yep, I agree. And that's another reason why too, is that I think a lot of people are bearish right now, and you know, price is dumping and people have a right to assume. And one of the things I like to preach is that always go against what the tide is going, or go against the herd. And right now the herd is bearish. Be a really good time to start pumping on people. I don't think we're going to get a bull market, but maybe we at least come up and test this region somewhere. Who knows? And I could put in a higher high. And what if, guys? What if this is just one giant, massive ABC? Where we come up here and then we go to 6K. Absolutely in the cards. I'm 100% not dismissing that idea whatsoever. So I like it. Well, we'll have to see what happens. 6K seeds nuts. I like 10, 5, 14. Yep, I'm 110% with you, Josh. I'm sure I don't look at volume profiles and stuff, and I'm sure there's a lot of volume around that 12 to 15 or 10 to 15K range. So I think there's a lot of time still to accumulate at good prices. Absolutely. Time to accumulate and it's time to not fuck up your trading accounts. This is the time where if you play things right and you're proactive on building your account, whether it's hodling, trading like that, you will do very well. I can tell you that right now. That's not financial advice. That's just personal opinion. I've seen what buying into a sideways market and riding the bull wave looks like. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I've been hoarding. I've been slowly accumulating, Josh. Slowly accumulating. I have DCA points. David, how's it doing? How you doing, man? How's it going? Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good day. I don't know if you missed the TA earlier, David. I'll give you a quick little rerun. I'm sure you've seen what I got to say on the Discord. But pretty much, I am bullish. Actually, I should just click on here. I am bullish as long as BTCs love that 18,475 region. I'm currently long on that setup. Next step, if that fails, 17.5. And if price can get back below and back above, ultimate bull mode for the midterm. I don't think we're going to put in all-time highs, but we're going to get a good pump. If we get that absolute ginormous ABC. But I have to see what price wants to do. You know, another alternative that I kind of just touched on here as well is that what if, oh, come on. What if this is one just giant A to a B to a C and we come up and test this region? Definitely throw a lot of people off. So let's see what happens. But hope you're doing well, David. All right, so we're just gonna hang out here for a little bit, folks. I know I was supposed to stream yesterday, but I got caught up in some stuff, and it took a lot longer than expected. By the time I got home, it was like midnight, so I'm like, I can't do this. So I figured I'd hop on here today. I will be here tomorrow as well, and Thursday I will be going live in David Tech's Discord. If you guys are interested in that, definitely go sign up. It's a great community. Definitely like the people there. We come from all different, how do I say it? All different directions. Basically, we're all coming from different ideas and definitely have a lot of information to offer. So guys, definitely go check that out if you haven't yet. If you aren't part of David Tech's group. And you also get access to me too. So I'm long too, ABC all the way, absolutely. And if you guys are from David's group and watching, I will be there at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know it's depending on which area, like time zone you're at, it's a little bit late. Maybe down the line, maybe I'll figure out something to where we can I can allow people to ask more questions and tune in, but that's something I have to think about. But definitely that's something I want to do. Thanks, buddy. Pleasure to have you on the Discord. Thank you for having me, David. I really appreciate you. I hope I help out, or I hope I can help out as much as I can. That's what I meant to say. Oh, speaking of helping out, I want you guys to check this out. Now, if you guys are in Kite's group, you definitely know about this. If you don't know about this, there is a new book in town. Oh, come on. And it's a book by one of my favorite mentors / traders. I mean, Trader Tom he's kind of a mentor. I mean, yeah, I guess I would consider him a mentor. But he is one of the absolute, like, besides Kite, he's the best person I have ever looked up to in trading. Like, I've heard one of his seminars was absolutely on point. I loved every second of it. I tell everyone to read Trading in the Zone and watch those seminars in conjunction. Don't skip out on one. And he actually just released a book. I think the middle of last month. Here it is. I don't know why I couldn't find the title. Called Best Loser Wins. Definitely, and I personally like listening to audiobooks. So I'll like either eat lunch and sit outside, or I'll go for a walk. I don't like listening while driving. But that's primarily where I listen to most of my books. If I'm either sitting outside and relaxing, or if I'm like going out, like going for a walk, not intense exercising, but just going out and trying to get my steps in. So definitely go check this out. I'm like an hour in, and he is absolutely phenomenal. Like, just giving more of like his backstory of where he came from, his journey in his trading career, and he's definitely got a lot of experience. And I already kind of have an idea what he's going to talk about, but I'm really interested to see how he progresses and like goes into his thoughts more. So definitely, guys, check that out. Chad, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for stopping by. Have you found a lot of success with this trading style? Yes. So there's a short answer and a long answer. Short answer is yes. Long answer is, the reason why it's successful in my opinion is it's not, obviously I know this game is majority about profitability and making money. I absolutely understand that. But to me, the way I use ABCs is the most beneficial, because it allows for a good trading to life balance. Now, the reason why I say that is because, first of all, we're primarily focusing on the much larger picture. Now, what I mean, like, to most people, this is macro. To me, this is not macro. I would consider this more like medium to longer term. But macro is like, looking at a 2-day, zooming all the way out like this. That's more of a macro in my opinion. To me, this is more of a medium term time frame. I don't primarily trade off the 2 hour. I kind of zoom out just to get a bigger perspective. Now, when you focus on these larger structures, these larger setups, it gets rid of all the extra noise. Now, let me kind of explain what that means. If I go to a 5-minute and go zoom in like this, I could sit here and draw ABCs all day. I could sit here and do this. And this is what I call getting lost in the sauce. Is that, let's say you can get good at identifying them, but the problem is some of these positions aren't the best because it could easily go against you. What I mean by that is, when you go into a smaller time frame and zoom in, the possibilities of what price can do become a lot. I say the options increase. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. there's a lot of different variables that can definitely play out, and you kind of get lost in which direction you think price is going to go. I think if you can get really good at going into identify things on a bigger time frame, and you have to be right when you do this, because if you try to identify things and you're wrong and you're trying to play things a certain way, you're going to get wrecked. Absolutely going to get wrecked. And so when you zoom in into all this price action, like let's say you try to take a long off of this ABC, you would have been sitting here all day trying to long. Okay, well this. All right, well this is. Oh, come on. All right, that setup didn't work. Then I got to use this one. All right, well that setup didn't work, and I guarantee you're taking multiple entries off of each one of these time frames. Yeah, this is probably a couple entries. This is a couple entries. This is a couple entries, and you get into the trap of trying to catch a falling knife. And I could sit here and draw these positions all day. So you kind of get lost in the sauce. And so when you go out to a bigger time frame and get a bigger perspective on what's going on, there's a lot less options that you can draw for yourself that matter. And it shows you what is important in price action. So not only is it profitable, I personally think that if you can get a good grasp of drawing ABCs, you might be able to get away with going to a smaller time frame, but you have to be able to play it right. Most people can't do that. So when I tell people when they're first starting out, focus on the bigger setups, and I promise you, it's gonna be more consistent. All right. And then another thing that is another reason why I call it more successful is that the frequency of the setups aren't as much as a 5-minute time frame one. You might have a good setup maybe once every week or two, sometimes even longer. Like in this case here, you didn't really get an actual, well, okay, the first setup we got was here, so that's 2 weeks. And then from there, the most legit setup that I was looking for pretty much happened here. That took another 2 weeks. So the frequency of the setups are less, so it kind of allows you to live life a little bit. If you have other stuff going on, if you work a full-time job, or you're doing something else like your own business or running your own thing on a full-time basis, you can balance trading a little bit with that as well. So if you're looking, when I think of success and I think of how to become a successful trader, it's not only just about profit. It's about keeping a good trading balance and also focusing on consistency. And to me, the setups have been consistent. Now, the amount of trades you'll take on one setup sometimes aren't the best. Like obviously in this region, you got stopped out, I think once here, you got stopped out a couple times here. But when you understand R&R and when you understand the importance of win rate and understanding the bigger picture, depending on where you wanted to take this, you could easily took this down to here. That's a 17. You got stopped out 5 times, you're net positive 12. Once you understand the bigger picture of playing the bigger setups, getting stopped out is not going to become painful. It's not going to, I don't care. Like eventually you'll learn to not let stuff like that affect you. So, and also from a psychology standpoint as well. If you could sit here, play a 5-minute time frame and get stopped out 15 times on these tiny little price movements, because when you go down to a 5-minute or to a 10-minute, you have to structure your trades a certain way. So let's say you wanted to do this. You have to sit there and use like a 0.5, 0.25% stop. Even still, you're aiming, like you want to aim for a 10. You never got a 10. And you do the same thing. Just move this down here, get stopped out a couple times. Move this, get stopped out a couple times. It's about frequency. And the frequency on these smaller time frame trades are going to be a lot higher. You're definitely going to be stressing yourself out a lot more than you should be. When you get stressed out, when you are on a losing streak, you want to win, you start falling into the habit of revenge trading, and it's just a downward spiral. It's a position you don't want to be in. It's something I've done myself personally. It's something that I've learned from, and it's definitely something that is, how do I say this? it's an experience you guys should go through. I don't believe everyone has to go through it, but I think most people have to go through that kind of I guess struggle to learn from it. And for me, that was kind of the turning point for me, is that understanding that not going down to a smaller time frame is the answer. Focusing on the bigger perspectives, focusing on the bigger setups, focusing on the bigger trades. Overall, it's going to make your life a lot easier, and you're going to be a lot more consistent, and you'll make money. I took a $500 account starting in like late February, early March, and we're sitting at about, it's kind of fluctuating between like $800 and like $1,200. So right now, I think we're sitting in like the $850, $900 region. So it's been, that's been the most actually, I can't speak. Sorry. Hasn't been the fastest progression, but life has been so easy for me. I can sit here, focus on content. I can focus on live streaming for you guys, focusing on answering questions, helping people. I'm not sitting here glued to my chart all day. So it definitely allows me to balance life a lot easier using this style of trading. So overall, that was the long answer. I'm sorry if that was too long, Chad. I tried my best to, sometimes I go on rant, so I apologize, but that was the best way for me to explain that, and hopefully it helped. God, my voice is like dry. Doesn't help to have these tiny little bottles. Thank you. Appreciate it. Of course, Chad. I appreciate you asking. Thank you for asking. That was a good question. All right. Does anybody else have any other questions for me? We're just gonna hang out for a little bit. I'm not trying to pressure you guys at all. I figure we're hanging out, kind of observing what's going on. Maybe if something happens, yep. See, I'm in a 5-minute time frame. Something happens, maybe you get to see me take a position live. I doubt it. It's never happened yet. Has it happened yet? I don't think so. Has it? Great. I'm going to be thinking about this the rest of the live stream. Just downloaded the book. Thanks. I'm glad. I hope you enjoy it, David. I love it. I'm a big fan of Tom to begin with, and he really does a great job of talking about things that really matter in trading. And one of the biggest things for me, and I feel like there's a lot of things that people will experience as well, is basically understanding the principles of what's talked about in Trading in the Zone, what's talked about in Trader Tom's seminars, and also the points that he makes in this book. Once you understand and apply it to trading in real time and kind of putting yourself in that mindset or the right frame, it's like a light bulb clicks. You finally can understand what actually matters, and it helps you kind of put all the pieces of the puzzle together. keep thinking today is Monday. I had off work yesterday, so my schedule's all messed up. I've been catching up on what else? What's the name of the show? Westworld. I binge watched the first season when it came out back in like 2018. I think I watched the second season, but it's been so long since I watched that show that I'm rewatching it again just to try to catch up. Like, I'm pretty sure I've seen it when I see like certain, I think I'm on episode 4 or 5. Certain things that happen, I'm like, oh crap, I think I've already seen this already. But instead of just like completely writing off the episode, I just continue watching. So I got to catch up on Westworld. I think we're on season 4. A friend of mine actually does video production work for that show. I'm not sure if it's contracted through HBO or another company, but he's been working with the show. He like tell me like stories and stuff. It's actually pretty cool. So if you guys haven't seen it, check out Westworld on HBO Max. I gave up on the second season. Yeah, see, I believe my problem with the show, David, is that like to me, I like good conflict. Like I like obviously like you have the hero and the villain, and not just direct conflict, but with like with their ideas and where they want to take things. It's right now, it just seems like everyone on the robot side it's just they're constantly winning, and I hate that. I don't know why. I need like good balanced progression throughout a show. I know it seems like a little bit too in depth of like my thoughts on it. It seems like a stupid thing to be worried about, but like every time something happens, I'm just like, oh, like here we go again. Oh, they killed them. Oh, they're gonna do this. Oh, cool, great. When are they actually gonna stop them? I'm sure it gets better as on season 3 and 4. But right now, like in season 2, they're just constantly pushing, constantly winning, and I don't like it. I was supposed to go see. So if you guys are in the East Coast of the United States and you're in the age bracket of 35 to 50, I would say like 40, further for 35 to 45. Kevin Smith movie came out called Clerks 3. Now, a lot of these movies came out in like the late 90s or mid to late 90s when I was like an infant. So I didn't see anything until I was like about like 5 years ago, so like 18. So all these movies are, you know, ancient. But Clerks 3 came out. I was supposed to watch it. I watched the first 2. Hilarious. It's stupid comedy. It's stupid stoner comedy. And they actually filmed a lot of those movies in the area where I live in. Or yeah, where I live in. It's like an hour and a half drive. Like you can actually go visit the convenience store that they filmed a lot of those scenes or movies in. But yeah, Clerks 3 apparently is really good. And it's something I can't really connect with because I'm not in that age bracket. But like my boss at work, he really felt it. Like it hit him hard. And it's about like the writer's life, kind of like something that happened to him. I heard it was a great movie. I gotta watch it. It was actually, apparently they only show it once every day at 7 o'clock. I was supposed to watch it this weekend. I done goofed, messed up, couldn't watch it. But if you guys are interested in like stupid stoner comedies, Clerks 1 and 2 are hysterical. And then you have like Jay and Silent Bob, Mallrats. I remember watching Mallrats when I was like 15. That was the first exposure to Kevin Smith that I had. I'm trying to think what else has gone. Besides like me dissecting beers. All right, so Josh knows what I'm talking about. It's been, let's see, yesterday. I don't know if you guys call it the beginning of this, but I had a friend of mine who is not tech savvy, is not into computers and stuff like I am. Now, I'm not a nerd. Like, I'm like, I'm not, what I mean by nerd is I don't know a lot about this stuff. I know like the basics, not even probably less than the basics. I could put a PC together from scratch. That's about it. I can't code, can't do anything. Kind of want to learn, but at the same time, I got too much stuff going on. So all I know is how to put a PC together, and apparently I can't do it that well because my cable management is absolutely terrible. But my friend was switching out PC parts, and he was having problems because he bought brand new GPU. Basically, all the components were new, but he didn't upgrade his freaking power supply. He was running a 550 watt power supply on a 3070 Ti, and his computer basically would like shut off when he was gaming. I'm like, yeah, dude, because you're overloading the power supply. So we got him one. We hooked everything up, and it's just been downhill from there. Pretty much, it won't post. I tried everything. We even replaced the motherboard. We replaced the CPU. We replaced, what is it? GPU was fine. We replaced the power supply, everything. Yeah, come code with me. Honestly, David, I need a new career change. So I would absolutely consider it. My thing is, it's like, it seems like it's a lot. Let me know if I'm wrong, because you definitely know more than me, David. And I'm not really a smart guy, but like, I can get decent with practice. So definitely like hit me up on the side. That help, maybe you can point me in the right direction, because I would honestly consider it. 100% honestly consider it. So replace basically his motherboard, CPU. We're thinking something surged, something I guess basically got overloaded and surged and blew out with this old power supply. So we replaced everything. I had three different sets of eyes, mine, a friend, and another friend, look at it, and basically we couldn't figure it out. So we started swapping parts. We got we came to the conclusion that it was either the motherboard that went or the processor. So we ended up swapping processors, swapping motherboards. We didn't swap the RAM sticks. We plugged everything back in, still didn't post. I wanted to jump out of a window. Still wouldn't post. Took his old RAM sticks, brought it to my house. I have like a secondary like old mining computer that I never set up. And I plugged it in there, turned it on. Sure enough, power would just constantly flicker on and off with the old RAM sticks. I said, okay. So I gave him a 16 gig stick of RAM to use from an extra set that I had. Brought it back to his house, plugged it in. It turned on, posted, went to the BIOS, shut off, restarted itself, and then never went back to post. I never posted again. I don't know what to do. I tried every single component. I put the RAM stick in every single slot. Nothing. So if we can't figure out something soon, I might just tell him to just return everything and we start brand new from scratch again. So that's what I've been dealing with. I dealt with that for almost 6 hours yesterday. I wanted to jump out of a window, like I said. David, sure, no problem. Cool. Hey, maybe this might be the good career path for me. David, do you actually? No, I'll ask you. Never mind. I'll ask you privately. All right, so you guys heard my tangent for the day. That's not trading related. Oh, Josh V, who rolls blunts? Wait, who rolls the blunts? We roll. Jesus Christ. Yeah. I'm not too fresh with my Kevin Smith quotes. I saw the most recent Jay and Silent Bob movie. That wasn't as good as the first one. Vlad is very good with computers. Okay, maybe I'll ask him when he's not busy. It's not an important issue. I'll have yeah, I'll ask him. It's not an important thing. Like, he can wait. Like, he has a backup. So, but I'm sick and tired of sitting in this kid's house. It's like 80 degrees in there trying to put this PC together. Torture. Does anybody else have any other questions for me by any chance? All right, this is kind of a last call kind of thing. If you guys have any other questions for me, trading related, setup related, it could be not just ABCs, anything traded, anything is on the table. There's no limits. I mean, obviously there's very, very small limits. Some things I won't answer. But you guys can pretty much ask me anything trading related, and hopefully I can answer the best of my abilities. If not, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night, wrap things up here. I know it's been about an hour. Tomorrow I might aim for a little bit more. Maybe we'll do something different. I don't know. I always say that, but then I don't know like what to do. I don't want to be like every other person on here in game. I think it'd be cool to do like, maybe, you know what I'll do? I have to write a solo. Well, I'm going to write a solo for a piece that a buddy of mine presented to me years ago. And I kind of want to do it just to see how my abilities are. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Johnny, have a great evening. I'm off. It's 3 a.m. here. See you on Discord. Thank you so much, David. I'll reach out when it's not too late. Maybe you can point me in the right direction when it comes to coding. Point me in the right direction when it comes to coding. Well, I feel like I just gibbering that. But thank you again for so much stopping by, David. Appreciate you. Thank you for having me on the Discord. Thank you for just being a good friend and stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Peace, David. Have a good one. But yeah, I don't know what I want to do. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Yeah, I don't want to do that tonight because I got stuff to do. Yeah, I'll oh wait, tomorrow I can't. Shoot. All right, maybe another day, or like maybe next week I'll do a thing where we'll do like TA trading stuff, and then I'll switch screens and you guys get to watch me mess around on the guitar and try to write a solo for this piece, for this song. Maybe we'll do that. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night because I'm tired, I'm hungry, and I got stuff to do. It's gonna be a long day for me. So I appreciate every single one of you for stopping by, saying hello, asking great questions. If you guys are watching the replay, made it this far, I really do appreciate you. I'm trying to get my watch time up. That 4,000 hours is a lot. I think it'd be cool to get monetized by a year of me doing this. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I gotta aim somewhere. So thank you guys so much again. Like the video, comment if you haven't, subscribe if you haven't. I really would appreciate all the support you guys can give. It really means the world to me. And I want to thank every single one of you until I can't anymore. So thank you guys so much for stopping by, watching. I will see you guys tomorrow, right? Same time, like 7 p.m. Be here and be ready to learn. All right, enough of me. Love you guys. Thank you guys so much. Be good, be safe, trade the plan, stick to the plan. You guys know the spiel, the little speech I give at the end. But until then, I'll see you guys on the next one.